Hello everyone and welcome back to the second part of the horoscope for July the 18th, 2022. So I spoke about Mercury opposing Pluto and Mercury being anoretic in the sign of Cancer. And also on the 19th of July, Mercury leaves the sign of Cancer and it enters Leo. And I do love this energy because heart. Emotional intelligence is one thing, but the sheer intelligence of the heart is that played out on the world. I wanted to say on the world stage because yeah, collectively, collective emotion, but in our lives, the stage of our lives, that's what I wanted to really say. That's where our heart guides us, leads us, and we understand through the heart. And I kept hearing about this on TV, read about this, and in the work of Pam Gregory, that the heart has neurons in it. So, almost like an intelligence, and the electromagnetic field of the heart is much greater than of the minds of the brains. So a lot of the mind is also the heart. Poor are those beings for whom it isn't this way. But Mercury in the sign of Leo activates that strongly, strongly, strongly. And for a lot of Leo natives, this is where the sun is also going to be entering the sign of Leo on the 22nd of July. So I would like to wish a very happy birthday month for Leo natives. But where I want to go with this, Mercury will conjunct Leo natives' sun. So Leo natives will feel this very, very strongly in their birthday period solar return when Mercury gives them this intelligence of their heart. For Leo natives, this may play out as, and not just Leo natives, I'm sorry, any fire sign natives, Aries and Sagittarius as well, trine. Because this will play out as, oh my god, I can't believe that I was always right, that the feeling in my heart was always correct. This will feel like the universe, the divine giving you a diploma that fire signs, as I said, that look, you guys were so very, very wise to trust your heart. Congratulations. A spiritual moment like this. But everyone else has Leo in their charts. So everyone will feel this. And this is, for example, in my fifth house. So, you know, I'm not a Leo and I have no planets in the fifth house. And still, I'm going to be feeling this so intensely. So, this is very good. I love this energy. Mercury in the sign of Leo, the sheer intelligence and the flow, because Mercury is much more communication words. What does that mean? Brave words, healing words, loving words, creative words, poetry. Even when you hand in your document, what document? The divorce paper. You do it with love, with wisdom, and you charge it. You make it act, or basically you fate it, if that makes even sense. You contribute to its fate, you program it with love, so of course it's gonna be different. Or someone hands in their book to the publisher, you charge it with infinite love. Where will that get you? Into the best place possible. If your book is rejected, it's rejected because the publisher's failed. So it will do wonders for you. Or let's say me or any other person like me who speaks publicly, charge your words with love, you'll see what will happen. If you are if you work at the airport, for example, just be yourself that day, be loving, and you'll see you be the portal of well-being, of benevolence, and people loving you back. So everyone who does something with their words, with their hands, why? Because Mercury rules Gemini. And everyone, for example, who cooks, who is a chef, who creates something, who communicates, artists and people who for whom communication is in their everyday lives, well, those are naturally included. That's why I'm not even mentioning them. I'm always trying to mention people who would be, a little bit, who would find it harder to identify themselves in the expression of the energy. Because when I say that you're a speaker or you do something with your words, if your profession or if your way of life is including of this, then you immediately know that I'm included in this 100%. So that's why I don't even need to mention you expressly. But those people who might not naturally come to this conclusion, that's what I want to focus on. So that's when I'm saying these examples, I always want to include that which is not average. So anyway, Mercury in the sign of Leo, for me personally, is always a good energy because it will conjunct certain fixed stars there, Regulus. It will conjunct so many good energies there, if you know what I mean. I know it will oppose Saturn this year, but reality check. The heart needs to be smart as well. Don't get me wrong, the heart also needs reality checks. For example, that person who you trusted is not trustworthy. Surprise, surprise to the heart. That's not pleasant, but it's very useful, and we have to be grateful for it. Gratitude. Mercury in the sign of Leo is when we speak the gratitude. And opposition Saturn, perhaps we express gratitude to those people who we find it even hard to do it to. So it will be a really good moment. Anyway, the Sun at this time also opposes Pluto. And this goes, I'm not going to detail this because this goes hand in hand with Mercury. Everything that I said about earlier and in the previous recording about Mercury, the Sun is basically our light of the consciousness, us accepting it, processing it, that's it. And the ego coming terms with whatever decision, choice, drama, conflict, whatever Mercury processes and whatever big decisions it makes. Because Mercury processing it, as I said, means signing the contract, signing the document, handing in this and that document, relation with authorities, for some people Cancer house, buying the house or not buying the house, putting down the deposit for the house or waiting, buying the land or not. So finding the money, Pluto, for the land, for the house, taking the loan or not, South Node in Scorpio. What will happen to the financial world in the month of September? For example, for a lot of people, it's this simple, but they need to know or they need to anticipate in order for their intuition and instinct to get it right. So that's why I'm trying to be as helpful as possible and showing you the nitty-gritty. Because for a lot of people, it's really it all depends on this. Having the gut feeling, having the intuition, the instinct, or the divine guidance, and them being able to trust it, to buy it, to do it, or to not, the opposite. Each person with their own situation. But maybe that's why they're listening to astrologers, to be able to somehow tune in, refine their intuition, to know what they are doing next, now, just this year. Because this year is that groundbreaking Uranus for a lot of people. Saturn squaring Uranus. And as I said, I'm speaking about this, even if this is just mentally the theme of next week, not to do, to make, to... But this is the period, the next period, and this is the summer. So that's why we need to prepare from even now. And what I said about series, prepare, yes, let's prepare. And this is the other energy shift. The Sun entering into the sign of Leo. And this is also very important because this is when the Sun gets into total comfort. The Sun is the ruling planet of Leo. So we need this. We need the heart energy. We need the heart, we need love, we need creativity, we need the inner child. We need this so badly. We need the Leo empowerment maximally, really. Because, as I said, Mercury there, the Sun there, gives us knowledge that our minds, knowledge that our rational soul cannot have access to, because love is divine. Love is Uranian in the sense that it's free, rebel, it does not care about logic. Love does not ask why. And anyone, even and I'm so sorry, I met psychologists, therapists who want to rationalize love. Are you insane? Love is the greatest rebel. Love rebels against the creator, and it's okay. Love is allowed to rebel against anyone. The joy that the creator made love, that the creator does not condition its own love. That's why some criminals, that's why some mass murderers, or say whatever you want, negative example of a being, or not even from the divine realm, dark beings, for example. Why are they tolerated? Why are they loved? Because if they exist and they cannot self-generate yet, that means they're loved. Why? Because love is allowed. Love is rebellious in nature. Why do we love? That's a question that we are stupid to ask. And perhaps, the primal humans asked this question, and that's why they ended up in a world of paradox. And paradoxes are gonna be part of our lives for the next 200 years, because Aquarius opened the air cycle, the age of Aquarius, 21st December 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn opened at 0 degrees of Aquarius, the cycle. So everything for the next 200 years is going to be paradoxical, if that even makes sense. So let's get used to it. Let's no longer ask those silly questions of why. So this is where the Mercury and Sun conjunction kind of opposes Pluto. So the energy is united. We're not going to feel it individually, we're going to feel it as one. And whenever Mercury is conjunct the Sun, well, that exactly as I said, important decisions, important realizations, our neurons firing off, literally. The Sun is like Mars, fire energy, flame, energy. Mercury is the brain, mental function, communication, words, processor, the microprocessor of us, and in the computer as well, equally Mercury. So it works, it fires up, the cogs turn. And if it opposes Pluto, we're processing what Pluto is ultimately telling us. We're processing the Plutonian truth. Collectively, we're processing that. And maybe I shouldn't be saying this really, but I have to say it because this is what it means. Politicians, leaders, Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, the leaders of big pharma, big corporations, big, have no clue what they're doing. They're more lost than anyone else. So the collective Cancer people, the feeling of the people, that's Cancer in collective astrology, will be aware of this. So of course everyone will start to panic emotionally. Like if they're more lost than me, a citizen, then well, yeah. But the 20th of July is gonna be a little bit difficult because Sun opposing Pluto, and there's a T-square. A T-square where the Sun squares Moon Aries, Moon squares Pluto, Sun Pluto oppose. So the T-square. Emotionally, something is gonna really stir up feelings and emotions on the world stage. Aries, cardinal energy. And, Eris, planetoid Haumea, So this can be like a grand cross. So they're involved in this if we necessarily want to include them. If we don't want to include them, then it's just this T square. But this calls for rebellion, people taking to the streets, violence. Please be careful, because this will stir up people badly. And if you're an impulsive fire sign, an Aries, if you're an Aries, if you have very strong Leo placements, or whatever in your chart that makes you impulsive, try not to get sucked into injustice. People are gonna provoke you at the shop, at the pharmacy. Your family is gonna provoke you. Try to stay calm, please, please, please. But whatever happens, happens. So take Valerian with you on the 20th of July, and on the 22nd of July we have the Venus exactly squaring Jupiter moment. So emotionally tough and rough, and this is what we have to do. But on the same day, the Sun enters Leo. It is emotionally rough and tough. It is not easy. It is, for the heart, heavy, heavy. There's that song, Heavy on the Heart, if you want to Google it. So there is that side of the energy. But I forgot to mention Neptune, and you see, it channeled itself into my work through this song and reminded me to mention him. At the beginning of the week, we have a Sun trine Neptune. For spirit, prayer, spiritual work, psychology, figuring yourself out, inner epiphany, stabilizing yourself spiritually, psychologically. Okay, I can do at moment meditations, walks in nature. My life is full of miracles and magic, friends uniting, synchronicities, soul tribe coming together moments are preparing you, giving you soul food for what's about to come. So enjoy the Sun trine Neptune moment. So the divine being kind, caressing you, stroking you, saying you nice things, hugging you, preparing you, giving you soul food. Enjoy. Please enjoy. Enjoy, indulge, embrace, do it. Feed it. Let it feed your spirit. So thank you for allowing me this moment that I forgot at the beginning of the horoscope. But this gives us power and strength for the Venus-Jupiter square and square alchemy. We transform it into, a moment of fervor, if that even makes sense. Where, yes, I'm not just capable of doing it, I'm really gonna do it. And if I'm not capable of doing it, I'll make myself be capable, because the divine is within me. And the divine is not passive, it is not static. It will mutate me into the person who can do it if I can. And with Sun in Leo energy. And you can imagine that later on the Sun from the sign of Leo will trine Jupiter. That's the moment when you wake up that you did it. Yeah, you did it, you're doing it. Yep, that is the good moment. And also what I would like to say is, you can imagine that there will also be squares between the Sun and the nodes of the Moon, T-square. But that's good. That's good, because the T-square, when the Sun is in Leo, that means you're in the midst of your breakthrough moment, of your triumph moment. That moment when the brave hero, the prince, is with the sword in his hand, but the sword is already halfway in the head of the dragon, Gorgon, whatever it is. So the hero doesn't know the hero has not processed that, yeah, it's over, really. You triumph, you won. Already. So, because he is in the heat of the moment. So the head is not off totally yet. And, all that. But empirically, he already won. And, he already won. So you are going to be in that moment of your life. And again, whatever disruptions are starting to take place, and what I say disruptions, for some people, yeah, you have to move, yeah, you have to take on this role and position even if it's way too big for you. Yeah, you have to go out and do it. Yeah, you're talented enough, skilled enough, good enough, pretty enough, brave enough, so there's no way out. This is where you just know that you have to do it, and it's a moment of great, great, great empowerment, and this is heart energy. And ultimately, in Ptolemy's era, the sun was the king of the sky, and Saturn was just the guardian of the solar system, and the malefic, the guardian of hell, basically. So the sun was the king of the sky. So each and every year, the sun in the sign of Leo can give us the chance to turn everything in our lives, the relationship, the divorce, pain, joy, sorrow, whatever emotion, feeling you want, into something sacred, into the embodiment of the Christ consciousness. What is the Christ consciousness? It gives the meaning. It helps us figure out the divine meaning of that divorce, of the pain, of the loss, of the why. Me, why it happened to me, why did my heart break, why did I lose, why did I have that past. If we find the divine meaning to it, if we see how either the divine, us ourselves, or someone else benefited from our sacred pain, then the benefit itself, in how should I even say, it enriches the divinity of the lived experience, so much so that we already see the pain as sacred, and we no longer become victims, but almost like we embody the saint part of our beings, the Virgo total purity, where we cannot see it as pain anymore, and we feel nothing but joy that we were the ones chosen to, or our souls was intelligent enough to weave that into our fate, that sacred pain. This can be a moment of deep gratitude, where maybe a few years ago we were rebelling against everything. Why us? Why me? Why do I have to bear the sacred pain? And now we give gratitude to it, and we almost feel a little bit saddened that we have to let it go, because when we get to that moment of gratitude, blessings come in such great abundance that even if we cling on to the sacred pain, it just becomes a jewel, a tattoo, uh, how should I say, a garment. It is no longer something ugly or something that we hide. We show it. This is, when Superman slash Archangel Kaliel, if that makes sense to anyone. And I don't know why he included himself into my horoscope just like this, but maybe it's someone's guardian angel. Actually, maybe that's the case, because Archangel Kaliel is a Saturnian archangel where it protects those people who could not have earthly justice in their lives. So that's his specific. Those people who earthly justice failed, the divine has to come through the divine agent. So that's how Saturn repairs his malefic side. And also the 22nd can be a day of great protest and revolution, shocks, revelations, but it can also be a day of romantic shock and surprises, and even erotically speaking. So if you have a stable relationship and you're committed and wish to be committed, be very careful not to go overboard, because this is a strongly romantic, rebellious energy where attractions happen, or the love of your life just knocks on your door and what do you do with it? Because that's not good news, because you're not prepared. What do you do? What do you do? So you need to be prepared for very great surprises, and even financially, and financially where it might come from you, not externally. Moon, you figured it out, you know it, you have it, there it is, you know what you want to do, you found your place in the world suddenly, and then all your future plans change like this. For a lot of people, it's figuring what they truly want out. And yes, and this is how this energy is going to grow and grow and grow even more. And all of the personal planets, Mars excluded, change signs, where Venus already entered into the sign of Cancer at the very beginning of the week. Then the Sun follows on the 22nd, and then Mercury on the 19th. So this is where our heart shifts, our mind shifts, and this gives us a lot of clarity. There is a lot of confusion here, don't get me wrong, but that confusion has no power, because the nitty-gritty literally is going to be swept under the rug. Don't bother me. I don't care about the color, the details. This is where even Virgo gets rid of the nitty-gritty, and this is where Virgo natives are going to have a moment where, my sun sign is about purity, how pure I am. And this is where they take great joy and pride in the very core of their nature, not the nitty gritty. So actually, this is one of the weeks where a lot of zodiac signs, so a lot of sun signs, are gonna find a lot of questions, a lot of emotional clarity, and even the turmoils and the troubles and the problems are gonna be revelatory in themselves. So thank you so much for listening, and I would like to say a massive thank you for all the love and support. I cannot believe that this happened to me, to be totally honest with you, and whoever I'm saying this message to will just know, everyone who I'm saying this message to. Like, I can't believe this actually happened to me, so thank you so much, thank you. So, until next time, bye for now.